The safe load L of a wooden beam supported at both ends varies jointly as the width, W, the square of the depth, D, and inversely as the length, little l. A wooden beam 6 inches wide, 9 inches deep, and 12 foot long holds up to 1,090 pounds. What load would a beam 5 inches wide, 4 inches deep, and 17 feet long of the same material support? Round off your answer to the nearest pound. All right, so the formula that we're going to use is going to be big L equals, so safe load, capital L, of a wooden beam supported at both ends varies jointly. So that's K with the width, so that's a W, and the square of the depth, which is D squared, and inversely as the length, little l. So this is the formula that we're going to use. And then we're going to plug in what we know to try to figure out what our K value is. So our safe load is 1,090. We keep K when the width is 6 inches and the depth is 9 inches. So 6 times 9 squared over 12 feet long. Now the thing here that you need to know is that we cannot work in feet and inches. So I need to change 12 feet into inches, which means I'm going to take feet times 12, because there's 12 inches in a foot. So in this case, it's actually 12 times 12 in the denominator, because I need my length in inches instead of feet. So this ends up being 1,090 equals K. When I multiply 6 times 9 squared in my numerator, I have 486. 12 times 12 is 144. So I'm going to multiply both sides times 144. That ends up giving me K times 486 equals 144 times 1,090. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 486. So my K value is 144 times 1,090 over 486. And I like to leave it like that. All right, I've transferred all of the information over to a new screen so we can finish working the problem. Our K value, again, I'm leaving it as that fraction, 144 times 1,090 over 486. My formula is L equals KWD squared over L. And then for the trying to find the safe load here, we knew that our width was 5 inches, our depth was 4 inches, and our length was 17 feet. So I'm going to come in here and start replacing what I know. L equals, and I'm going to replace K with 144 times 1,090 over 486. I'm going to take that times W, which is 5 inches, times the depth, which is 4 inches squared, all over, and then I have 17 feet. Remember to change it to inches, I've got to take it times 12, and just 12, that kind of looks like 0.12, and it shouldn't. So that's what I'm going to do as far as putting the math. And now I just put it all in my calculator. So I will take 144 times 1,090. Take that total and divide by 486. Take that number times 5 times 4 squared, which 4 squared is simply 16. Get that number. And then if you're going to use your calculator, if you're not going to figure out what 17 times 12 is to start with, I think that's sometimes a little bit easier. But if you're going to do the division in your calculator, then you want to make sure you put the 17 times 12 in a parenthesis like I have it there when you do that division. Otherwise, it'll divide by 17 and then multiply times 12. Or you can just figure out that 17 times 12 is 204, and you can replace that number with 204. So again, in your calculator, you'll do 144 times 1090. It equals, and then do divided by 486. It equals. And then your next step is that whatever that number is, you're going to take it times 5 times 16. It equals. And then whatever that number is, you're going to then divide by 204. And in the end, you should get approximately 126.65. And I believe it said to round your answer to the nearest pound. So that's going to mean my answer is 127 pounds.